Hey everybody, and welcome back to Save Station. Today, Halo Wars 2 hath returned. And I'm pretty excited because this time around we're not playing Domination, which honestly I found kind of boring. We're playing Deathmatch. And it's 2v2. Things get a little bit more heated since you're actually actively trying to go after each other's bases instead of control points. So, let's get right into it here. So, you start with your stronghold slash main base, like normal. I'm playing as Atriox. I find him to be more enjoyable to play right now instead of Captain Cutter. I just kind of like some of the financial perks that he gets for building things and units. So I'm gathering some resources to use. Supplies. Again, we got supplies and power as resources, so I need to get a kind of like reactor up, or like a mining thing. I forget what it's called. And then that'll bring some power in, and the harvesters will bring in supplies. So immediately they give you another little base here, and it can't be upgraded like my main base. So it's kind of a good little base to have, just to have like one extra like reactor or something like that. Yeah, I'm kind of exploring. At the time this was recorded, this is the first deathmatch I had played, so I was unfamiliar with this map. So I'm kind of like exploring around, seeing what's going on. And I think I said before that I was never very good about scouting, and I'm actually scouting right here a little bit with some units, so it's kind of cool to do that. I can't stress enough, it's super important to scout, just to see what the other team's doing, the opponent, because you never know if you're being countered or not. But a lot of times, sometimes I just like to have fun with things and just do units that I like to do, and see what happens. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. This isn't like a ranked match necessarily, since it's a beta, so it doesn't really matter. It's all about learning the game. In ranked play, I would probably be more serious and try and take those things into account. But that's why I have fun about like casual play. You can just do what you want. Gotta upgrade those harvesters to get more supplies coming in. If you notice, the number down there is going up much quicker. But my power is severely lacking. It's going very slowly. It's really tough trying to find that balance between power and supplies. So I'm checking out the commander tree. I've got 2 points to spend, and like I said before, I'm still not super familiar with this tree yet, so I'm just kind of going with it. Accelerated expansion, not too shabby. That'd be pretty good. Buildings, I think, are built quicker. Could definitely help. Trying out some jump pack brutes. They're melee based, so they'd be good against other infantry. And maybe even okay against some vehicles, potentially, like some lighter vehicles. Definitely not a tank, though. Tanks in this game are kind of like a safe, very safe unit. They can do well against many units. Air is probably where they're weakest because they can't use their main cannon against them, which is their main damage source. So air is usually the best way to counter, like if they're going like main tanks. But other than that, tanks can do a lot of damage to every other unit, even units that counter them, like hunters. So I'm trying to get some extra power from these kind of like spread out areas, and that's what I just took with my one unit up there. And throughout a match, you'll typically fight over those points for power, which can be a little annoying. It was like that in the first game, except there weren't as many points. There was usually like 2 points on opposite sides of the map, and then you would fight over just those. In this one, there's a lot more of them. Actually, by a lot more, I just mean there's one more. There's 3 this time. And that might increase if it's 3v3. This is just 2v2, so they have 3 power stations, I think. No, I take that back. That's actually, there's 5. I see 5 on the map there. So not 3, there's 5 altogether. Now, I wish there would be less than that, so you wouldn't have to be worrying about the enemy having too many, and you don't have to focus on that too much. I feel like the focus should be more on the combat and stuff, so you wouldn't have to worry about those point stations too much. But, you know, they might change some things in the full game when that's released in February. So I'm building a few other bases, and I believe I go for a power extractor. Yeah. I'm definitely very much aware that I need more power coming in, for sure. And let's start building some buildings. Air, typically pretty good, especially Banshees. They're quick. They're good against other air units. Pretty nice for scouting and getting in and out of battles. So it looks like my ally's getting in there. I'm letting him kind of do his thing. In this game, you can actually share resources. If, like, and that typically takes some communication. I'm not just going to give him resources because I need them. But if, like, I ever find myself with a lot, I might just send maybe 600 over to him real quick or something. It might help. I don't know. So I'm definitely going with Banshees. I got a few hunters out there. Like I said before, tanks can be a problem. They're kind of like the neutral unit that'll work against a lot of things. So I'm just kind of getting a few hunters out there just in case. More Banshees. And I've been looking at this Shroud guy. He does no offensive damage. He's a passive unit, but he can create this dome of like invisibility for your units. And I don't know if it's super useful. I haven't like found the best way to use it, but I've already thought that it might be pretty good to use in a defensive way. Like have a decent amount of units underneath that shroud, and they'll never see you. And they'll think they're good to go in, and all of a sudden you're attacking them like crazy. Now, I think there are units that can detect invisibility. I believe snipers can. So that's never a guaranteed thing that you're going to be invisible to everything. It's definitely a new unit, too. In the first game, there was no cloaking available. In this game, I know snipers can cloak themselves, and that's the UNSC unit, and then this Shroud unit can just cloak a dome of people and then move with them. That's why I'm a little scared to use it offensively, because say all the units are moving and they don't always move super efficiently. They'll move around and jostle each other sometimes, and I feel like if one of them just like steps outside of that dome that's covering them with invisibility, then all of a sudden the enemy is like, oh, there he is. There's like this one unit randomly walking over here. So I'm not a big fan of that. I thought maybe like defensive stuff might be better. So I'm going to wreck these infantrymen. My Shroud guys are just sitting there, not doing anything. So I can't upgrade this base either. It looks like in this mode, I can only upgrade my main base. Oh wait, no, yeah, that's correct. And right there, I just went ahead and upgraded my air units and give them a little bit more efficiency. I think like 15% more damage and 15% more durability.
Air level 1 researched. Local units.
And I have one anti-air unit.
Plasma torpedo researched. Beam cannon
So I think I'm gonna try out this shroud here.
local units.
Okay, so there's the invisibility. So I can still see them, but clearly they are invisible to the enemy, and that there's that dome. So, kind of a cool thing. It could be a really cool trap, like, say they come in with a bunch of tanks or something, and they have no idea I have a crap ton of hunters, and then all of a sudden my hunters are on them.
Leader power ready.
Checking out the tree. Cleansing beam can always be pretty good. I believe it uses some resources while I'm using it. At least that's the way it was in the old game. There's that ultimate cleansing eradication, like cleansing beam. Just multiple beams just kind of like coalesce and come together for some huge damage. But right next to it, there's the leader special power, and that's invulnerability for Atriox. It's a great way to cancel damage and cancel other people's ultimates. And that goes on all your units in the area. So as of right now, I'm at my population cap, pretty much. I'm at 59 out of 60. That basically means I'm ready to go in and attack a base. And I'm going to quickly upgrade my vehicles, attack power, and my infantry.
Leader power ready.
Just so I'm a little bit more prepared going in there.
Vehicle level
As of right now, I haven't seen the other
air level 2
team's units. But here we go.
Beware our foe. Infantry level 2
So we're attacking the base here. We got that awesome beam ability on the hunters. And look at that range. They can sit back there and attack the base. Getting the beam upgrade is super important for the hunters, so they just have the constant damage. And so far there's no resistance on this base, which is awesome. Oh, and here we go. Banshees. Holy crap. So, I'm using my cleansing beam on these Banshees. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, and they brought in some tanks. Holy crap. So this is getting pretty intense here. So I'm starting to get outnumbered, and I always forget to do this, but when a big battle is happening, I need to start creating units. I hate to like get away from the action, but when a battle's happening, I'm losing units, so I need to get back there and start like building more units straight away. So I get back there, I'm like, oh shoot, I need to start making more stuff. So holy crap. I'm actually doing okay, even though I was kind of outnumbered. My hunters are doing some work. And these locusts, I think I said before, they're super weak. They don't really do a lot of damage unless they're going against buildings. And I don't know why I disengaged right there. So he's dead. But these hunters right here, their veterancy is 3, so they're going to be super hard to kill. And there's the Brute Chieftain from the other team. he's kind of running through. So that was, for the most part, a victory, even though I lost most of my team there. I kind of came out on top and I got rid of one of their bases. So that's definitely a victory for the most part. Not perfect, though, for sure. I think I definitely had the better unit set up, and that was just random because of what I went with. Like I said before, I maybe should have scouted ahead. Always smart to scout. So I saw they're leaning towards the Banshees, so I'm like, okay, I'll make it a little more anti-air. I'll make a Marauder for some heavy damage on the ground. Honestly, I love just like building up on hunters, though. Even though they can't attack air units, they are super strong against vehicles, and even infantry too. It's that constant beam damage. It's so good. All right, I felt like it was important to start getting a new type of base out there, the War Council. I'm like, okay, I want a Brute Chieftain. Because, I mean, he's a leader, and that's what's kind of cool about the Covenant. They get an extra unit like that out there that's powerful. I could definitely use him on the field.
Local units.
I'm definitely looking to start adding pressure on their main bases pretty soon.
War Council constructed.
Now, what I probably should have, I have a healing, and that's what I'm doing here. So I have some veterancy on these units, and I want to heal them back up because, especially that hunter group, they're a veterancy of 3. That's super hard to kill, and I think they might even get a little bit of a damage boost too, since they're that high up.
All units. Infantry level 3 researched.
I'm ready to go here. So I was able to kind of get some units going during that battle, and that kind of helped me be prepared to move forward for another attack. Trying to get a Brute Chieftain out there. Alright.
All units. I go.
And my teammate is kind of moving in on them a bit, so I'm like, alright, I'll help you.
Is this the biggest target you can find for
And he actually was able to take out that base before I even got there. So he's definitely doing a good job. It looks like the enemy's going after his stuff, but at this point, I could help him. I'm just going to go after the other guys here. And look at that damage. Oh my gosh. My hunter's doing so much damage. Again, I'm getting caught up in the battle. I'm not looking to start making more units. That's what I should be doing right now. This is a beta too, so sometimes the frame rate will dip if there's a lot of like action going on screen. So hopefully in the main game they can fix that. It's always kind of annoying when that happens. Try out a cleansing beam on this turret. Get rid of him real quick.
local units. Our ally.
And I'm finally starting to make more units that went down. And my allies going over after the other base. So this is awesome. We're not communicating with each other. And I don't know if they had voice chat available in this beta, but we're still doing a pretty good job. I think both of us maybe are a little bit more experienced than the other team, or we just kind of got lucky with our unit choices. So as you can see, my more powerful units are left over here. Tank, aircraft. My level 3 veterancy hunters finally went down. They lasted a long time. Taking out these buildings.
Leader
At this point, the game is pretty much done. Unless they had like another big force somewhere that was trying to go after our bases. At the same time, though, it's like it's too late. Lay down a healing. Slowly taking out these buildings. And these turrets are so annoying. They're just slowly damaging my units. I want to get rid of them. But it's like, I'm just trying to get the buildings. Sometimes it's good to target like a vehicle building just so they can't even make vehicles anymore. It's pretty nice. So also, I forgot to mention this, but when I first attacked that main base, it had a shield. And that's exclusive to the Covenant. They can take a certain amount of damage before the base starts taking damage with that shield. It's pretty nice. So it's great against like skirmishes. Because if like a small little like attack force comes in, they might not be able to do enough damage to take care of that shield, and then the turrets are just doing too much damage, so it's not even worth for a skirmish. So it kind of like keeps that from happening. And I think this is kind of a bug. I'm trying to find the health of the main base, and it's not really... There's a bar there, but there's like no health. So I was kind of confused on like what was going on. These turrets are so annoying.
The enemy is attacking me.
And if you look at the small mini-map there, it looks like the enemy actually did push forward and take one of my allies' bases and make their own base. So that was kind of ballsy of them. But really, it's just kind of like they're prolonging the inevitable. We kind of took care of them a little too quickly. Which is great, of course.
My cannons will make short work of this.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just done with these turrets. So annoying. It's like, I feel like I should be doing more damage to these turrets too. Like, maybe that's the thing with the Banshees, they just can't do a lot of damage to non-air units. Getting more hunters. And I automatically have a waypoint set so that my units start going towards this base. So I don't have to direct them every single time. That's a good way to be efficient. And now I'm just going after the main base, even though I see no health bar for some reason. Set down a heal. Why not? Oh, and I want to use Eradication so bad just to kind of like, just to use it, but I don't have enough resources. It's 1,500 resources, supplies. And it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, I guess it's appropriate since it's an ultimate, but dang. You definitely have to be careful about using that because, oh, and it looks like the other team had just enough resources to use their ultimate on my units. And we just gotta finish this off this one base. Oh, and that is it. And I take victory. So that was the first deathmatch there, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I have one more that I recorded back during the beta, so keep your eyes open for that. I'll probably post it next week. But yeah, this was pretty fun, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at your next save. All right, see ya.